It is going to $1 million a coin. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You look at these power laws and stuff, and the future does seem to be very consistent with the past, right? There's definite patterns here. This does not look like a random walk. I've never seen data like this in my life before, okay? And I've looked at tons and tons and tons of data, for stock prices, bond prices, commodity prices. I've studied all these things. I've never seen a power law like Bitcoin. This is very, very unusual, right? I think the thing about Bitcoin is your generation is not going to see another one of these things that easily. You wait another 10 years, you're 36, you may not see that opportunity again. You know what I mean? Like in your entire life, it's a make or break moment, right? Because if they make the wrong move, that's it. They're done.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Fred Krueger in this video about Bitcoin and more.
Well, first of all, kind of one of the things we know about Bitcoin, right, is Bitcoin does a lot of nothing most of the time, and then it moves very suddenly, right? So, there's that sort of meme of the guy with the stick poking Bitcoin. Is like, do something, yes. Right? And there's a little bit of that. That's always the case with Bitcoin, right? There's this thing. It's like, and I remember visiting my dad, who's in New York, and I convinced him to get in Bitcoin, and it was like June of last year, right? And Bitcoin was trading at 25,000, and he's like, Fred, I'm really getting, quite frankly, a little disappointed, and I'm like, what? No, I'm like, Dad, no. And he goes, it's just sitting here at 25,000. I'm like, Dad, I said, like, just, it's great. Just do not worry. This thing is going to do great, and don't even think about selling your Bitcoin, He didn't sell it, but, I do think we're just, a 3-month period of chopping around is 100% normal. It doesn't matter. It's like it completely normal. So I don't think anything of what we're in right now. I have no opinion whatsoever. And in general, one thing I've realized is I have no opinion on what Bitcoin's going to do over the next month. Zero. I sort of said, I like to look at I'm like a monkey like everybody else. I click, refresh, 50 times a day. But realistically, do I have any idea what Bitcoin's going to do tomorrow? No. Do I have any idea what Bitcoin's going to do next month? No. Do I even have any idea what Bitcoin's going to do next year? I think a little bit. In the next year, probably a little bit. But, over the next 2 to 4 to 5 years, yeah, I think I have a pretty good opinion there, right? And I think the power law helps quantify that a little bit, but look, we do not have magic wands as just to see where this stuff's going. We really don't. And I think as a guy who was, trading professionally for years, I will say Bitcoin is even more inscrutable than almost any other thing I've traded. It goes up exactly when you don't expect it to go up. Like when you're completely convinced it's going down, that's when it's going to go up. Or when you're completely convinced that it should be going up, then it's going to go down, or it's going to stay sideways. So, it's really, really hard to predict Bitcoin. And I think, part of the growth pattern here of being a Bitcoiner is understanding that, right? Is understanding you will not have the ability to predict this thing. So if you're sitting there trying to trade this thing, leverage long or anything, I really don't think you're doing yourself a favor by trying to predict it. I don't think you're going to be successful, and I don't think that's a great way to make money. That's my opinion.
Donald Trump pledges to end Biden-Gensler crypto policies within 1 hour if re-elected. At a fundraiser, Trump criticized Democratic crypto regulations and positioned himself as a strong advocate for cryptocurrency. Fundraiser attended by Coinbase executives and Gemini co-founders. Trump plans to stop Biden's anti-crypto efforts and ensure the future of cryptocurrencies is shaped within the U.S. Trump criticized SEC Chair Gensler's enforcement actions and vowed to halt these policies immediately if re-elected. Trump's stance signals his intent to reshape U.S. cryptocurrency policy and secure support from the crypto community. U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETF, marked their 19th straight day of inflows on Friday, gathering $130.99 million. BlackRock's IBIT was once again at the forefront, with net inflows amounting to $168 million.
If you look at Bitcoin price on a regular basis, right, and you're graphing time in years, and you're graphing the price in dollars, right, it's really hard to see a pattern there, right? Because you look at this graph and it looks like, okay, well, we had this big run in 2017, then we crashed. Then we had this other big run in 2020, then we crashed. Now we're back. I mean, where's the pattern here? You know, it doesn't look like there's a pattern, right? Now, if you look at it and you say, well, I'm going to put the time in years since the beginning, and then I'm going to put the log of the Bitcoin price, you see more of a pattern. Now you see it's sort of arcing, and it sort of looks like, okay, it's going up according to this curve. Okay, there's sort of a curve here. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And then you say, well, wait a second. Now let's look at the time on a logarithmic basis and the price on a logarithmic basis. So you look at both on a log basis. Now the curve just jumps out at you and you see, oh, okay, this is a line, you know. And not only it's a line, but it's very sort of spread out. There's a deviation on this line. It's very tightly bound according to this line, right? So you have, you know, the correlation coefficient, right, which is sort of the fit of the data to the line, turns out to be like 96%, you know. So you're like, holy, how is that possible, right? Now, if you saw this over, you know, 1 or 2 orders of magnitude, like a difference between 1 and 100, you'd say, okay, I can kind of understand that, right? But this is data that's over 15 years and spans data that goes from 10 cents to almost $100,000, right? So you have, you know, 6 or 7 orders of magnitude, right, of data.
Ricardo Salinas Pliego advises buying Bitcoin to protect against fiat devaluation as the Nigerian naira falls below a Satoshi. Salinas recommends Bitcoin as a safeguard against devaluing fiat currencies. Nigerian naira hits record low against the US dollar, despite government measures. Salinas trusts Bitcoin over traditional investments like ETF and stocks. Salinas' advice highlights Bitcoin's growing role as a hedge against currency instability. The FDIC reports $517 billion in unrealized losses and flags 63 U.S. banks as at risk, indicating growing financial instability. 9th consecutive quarter of unrealized losses, primarily due to rising mortgage rates. Assets of at-risk banks increased by $15.8 billion. Recent bank failures and studies suggest many U.S. banks are still at risk. The FDIC data highlights ongoing challenges and uncertainties in the U.S. banking system, raising concerns about its stability. The People's Bank of China, PBOC, paused its gold acquisitions in May, ending 18 months of continuous buying as spot gold prices hit record highs. Despite this interruption, the value of China's gold reserves continued to rise. Following a spell of TradFi breakthroughs, all-time highs, and intense optimism in the crypto industry, selling pressure across most major cryptocurrencies are slowly beginning to ease, with trading volumes submitting to more tenable growth levels. Amidst this growth, one category-defining group of tokens has witnessed persistent success regardless of the current market backdrop: meme coins. Known for their unabashed lack of substance, utility, and satirical nature, meme coins emerged from hibernation in Q1 of 2024 and have deviated from the bull hype cycle curve, despite all odds. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.